Classroom. My name is Edidion, and I'm joined here with my friends, IT, David, and Moses.
Yep.
Well, just so you know, we have a very interesting set of people here, and so expect anything. Yeah.
We are not normal.
We are not really that interested, actually.
I don't know how they found their way here, but they are here all the same. And so we're going to have very interesting conversations. For today, we'll have a very interesting topic. Interesting because it's made waves recently. This past century, with all of the wokeness of our generation, this topic is actually very sensitive, and it's gender roles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first thing
For a moment, I thought we were going to talk about Dogecoin.
Or rocket science.
Oh, really?
Or how much is BTC now?
Really?
Yeah.
You guys want to go there?
Like,
When you talk about potentially interesting, cutting edge, but yeah, okay, gender roles.
You should know anything gender, causes a lot of fight, especially on social media. So
Yeah.
very sensitive. So gender roles.
Basically, it talks about some arbitrary responsibilities given to specific genders. Say, okay, men have to do this, women have to do this, or men were cut out to do this, women were cut out to do this. Like, it's not about the individual per se and the preferences and the nature of the relationship between the two people, but generally agreed idea that specific tasks are reserved for certain genders.
but specific tasks not reserved for certain genders.
Are they really?
Well, our generation does not believe so.
Who even gave the task and where is it written?
Okay. Let's get into it a bit more practically now. Cooking.
It's
That's not
not
from them.
responsibility.
Yeah.
Well, the person who is to eat the food is your responsibility.
Don't you think the person
No.
who is better at cooking is more is the responsibility
You
of the person?
don't know how to cook. What are you doing in the kitchen? I don't get. Like,
You say the person who is better.
you can buy the food.
Anybody can cook.
Yeah, so he says the person who is better at cooking. So the question that is in my head right now is that is gender roles limited to the home space? Do you think it's because whenever gender roles is talked about, is usually referring to
Yeah, exactly why there's a lot of talk about domestic
chores?
roles, especially is because I think that's where it stems from basically.
Okay.
And women, I think the domestic kind of affects what happens outside. So for example, a career woman who is kicking ass at her job basically comes home and is expected to take up certain roles because of her gender. For example, cooking, as you just said, and maybe cleaning and stuff like that, So it starts from there, and it kind of translates to the workplace. So for example, at a work function, maybe at the end of the year party, for example, men will expect that their female colleagues serve drinks, maybe or serve food, because
Men serve drinks.
exactly those kind of stuff, because
Someone reading room somewhere.
yeah. So it kind of overlaps. It starts from
I think it's the same reason, the same way where you grow up using close up, so you just keep using close up. If someone were to ask you, why do you use close up?
You really don't have a reason for using it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you grow up going to functions with your parents, and in those functions, women always serve food, men always serve drinks. So you now find yourself in this space where you are now organizing a function, and
By
default.
It was just a norm.
Oh, the women are supposed to serve food. Why? I think the major problem here is, or major issue here is, we don't ask why often enough, right? If we just stopped and said, why must this thing be like this?
Yeah.
Like, why? You get? And I think that's where you see it looks like this generation is having so much banter on these issues, because this generation asks
Asking
why.
a lot of questions.
That's a lot. Like, we're challenging a lot of status quo.
Which is a good thing in a way, but of course it also has its disadvantages because some of these things are ancient landmarks, so to speak. These are things we came to see. yes, they should be questioned, but it has to come with a balance.
Yeah. I think I like that idea. Why I'm saying is, I think there was a reason
why these things began that way. For example, I think it's going to be easy for us to say, no, women are not supposed to do this, men are supposed to do that and that. But if we take a journey backwards through our civilization, we understand that at the time when decisions were made, it made sense. For example, let's go back to the cavemen now, the real guys that started our civilization. The males went into the woods to kill animals,
Hunting.
It's more like it was like a social contract basically. Okay, I'm going out to do this. What do you do instead? Okay, you do the other things exactly. It's a contract basically speaking, and I think it can change. In the West, of course, we have seen it change most of the time now. The concept of stay-at-home dads are becoming very, very popular in America these days. I think a certain tech company CEO quit his job to be a stay-at-home dad for his wife to begin a career in something else. So it's becoming a thing, slowly. And once we understand that the paramount thing is respect for each other, understanding each other's needs per time, I don't think roles will be a problem. Because the roles is just basically meant to make our lives better, right?
Yeah.
So as we can function, okay, I'm doing this, you do. It's just like an organization in the office. The HR does this, the security guys do this guys do that, and stuff like that. So the only reason why a lot of people are stuck up on gender roles, especially mass males, is because I think they sense some sort of power drag. I don't know if that's what I'll call it, or the sense that they are beginning to lose a certain level of authority in certain spheres,
Where is deriving authority from? So let's go back to practicality, right? So let's say in a home where the woman is expected to handle cooking, handle, domestic stuff, and the man is like, oh, I'm the provider, right? So I do the providing, you do the organizing and taking care of stuff, right? So I can go out there. Where is the woman can derive authority from the fact that I'm a master at the art of taking care of this home. Like when it comes to taking care of this home, I'm the boss here. Yeah, right. So I can derive so much power from that, or feel powerful by doing that. It's
not a lesser job.
Exactly. Yes. So
exactly that's the problem.
Who says one is more important than the other?
You know why? Why it is being taught is because it's what society has said. For example,
you hire a maid to do those things that this person will be doing. It's basically taking that those things are things that are beneath people. Yeah, can be outsourced, basically speaking. You get? So I look like not high value skills, so to speak. There should be a premium on it. Anybody can do that, basically speaking. Anybody can clean your house, anybody can wash, anybody can do that. But anybody can go out and make 2 million naira in 2 weeks.
Well, not everybody makes 2 million naira in 2 weeks anyway.
Few people do.
The point is everybody has the ability to go out there and actually go make money. You get? So the woman can decide to go out there and go and make money. In fact, we have women today who are doing that a lot.
Yeah,
so
because I was going to ask, has gender roles changed? Has it
I
evolved?
think for me, every family has its workability. Because in every family, all guys are not the same, all women are not the same. In a family, I think sometimes we have the guys that work from home, and we have the women that go out to work. So it all depends on what you agree on.
The peculiarity of
the peculiarity of your home. It doesn't mean the guy must go out to work and the woman must stay at home. It can even be the woman that is going out to work while the guy works from home, depending on what you do.
Yeah, funny enough, there's this whole issue of men being the breadwinners.
I just read about this recent survey that said that women actually are contributing a lot more
now
in terms of the family needs than men.
It's not always been that way.
Yeah, it is rapidly changing. In fact, the whole rise of the deadbeat fathers or deadbeat dads, as they call it these days, where yes, she's going to work and get the money, but she's going to pretend like you are the one. You know, this thing, like, for example, the woman makes the money, but she wants you to feel like the man, so she gives you those. The need to do that still stems from this same gender roles question, because if there was no stipulation that this should be the case, she wouldn't need to pretend that her money is not hers. For example, we've heard of women that have had to lie about properties they have because men will not marry them if they are so affluent.
Not meant to marry this.
Yeah, exactly. Those
I've never understood that.
But as much as we want to throw blames at the male man, you also have to consider that society has painted the male man to be some kind of person who is capable of handling just anything and handling everything. He's in charge, he's the leader, he's supposed to provide, he should be able to provide.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's the same reason why a wife would, not want to project herself as being the one who is providing everything.
Yeah.
Because she wants her husband to assume that position, because society expects that of him.
Yeah.
The minute he's seen to fall short of that, he's seen to be less a man.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's a problem with the way society has, wired and, framed up people's minds to see a man who is not able to provide all that his family needs as less of a man.
Question.
As listen.
Like,
Yeah.
should we care?
Well, it's easy for you to
What
say you don't
society?
care.
You may not care, but the society does. And I think
my
that's
point
why
is, do we care what
some men
society
feel
thinks?
threatened when
Whether,
their wife
see,
does
this is the
better.
point people
Why
make.
we shouldn't care?
Whether you like it or not, every person has some degree of
Influence on what people think about you. No matter how hard you try to feign, you don't care, it doesn't bother you. There is still going to be. We are wired to expect.
Or crave relevance.
Yeah. Externally. That's the entire concept of how relationships are
A lot of the
built.
things that are changing today actually changed because some people just decided to stop caring.
Simple.
Like, this thing has been like this. Oh, if I do this, then society will think I'm this. So what?
Then I don't
I'll do it anyway. And then somebody else says, "Oh, see this guy is doing that stuff." Right? So it means I can also do it as well.
You actually have a choice.
Yeah, I think it's
You have it.
identity. If you know your identity, understand your identity, are confident in yourself. A lot of people draw their self-worth from the perception of society, perception of other people. What people think about me defines what I'm worth or who I am.
So when you're that kind of person, you are going to
Serious issues.
But like you said, the house is, you think about it like a unit, an organization. So for the house, we can decide this is how we want stuff to function here. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. In fact, there's nothing wrong with the woman saying, "Hey, I want my man to feel all powerful and all that. So I'm going to make this money, but I'm going to make it look like he's the one making the money." I think it's totally up to them as a family to decide how they want to run.
what best suits you.
Yeah. So I can't come and say, "Oh, why are you doing that? I can't do that in my own home." In the same vein, I'm not saying it's also wrong for the woman to say, "Hey, I want to be able to claim ownership of
What
this
I did."
achievement."
Yeah.
Right? Again, different strokes, different folks. I don't know why I think it always looks like or feels like we think there has to be a sort of one size fit all. So everybody must either conform to this or conform to that. Like, we can't have both.
Yeah.
We should have both.
Yeah.
We actually should. We should have both. So, if you ask me, at the end of the day, it depends on the individuals involved. So, if we're talking about gender roles as regards a relationship or family, it depends on the people involved. So, if a person is traditionalistic and is fixed on tradition, and is so you're going to have those struggles.
A lot of Nigerian men are.
Yeah, you are definitely going to have those struggles.
So you find yourself in a situation where you're married to this person and you now realize this person would rather, so let's say you are the man now, and the person the woman you're married to would rather claim ownership, right, of her achievements. Like, she wants to, be out there.
Yeah.
And the man is of the opinion that, hey, why are you trying to make me look bad? Make it look like I'm not, What do you now do?
As the man.
Yeah, both ways. So whether it happens to the man, happens to the woman. But you're in that situation. So what do you now do?
Forward.
How do you navigate that space? Because it's beginning to look like you have to choose between peace, right? Conform, peace, fulfillment.
Compromise.
Yeah. So either compromise and have peace, or whatever. Hold on to your convictions and and get your fulfillment. So how do you? Because there are a lot of people who are in that space, right?
I think I even want to ask, how did they enter this space?
In the first
Because
place.
before they got married, they should have talked about it. So is this something that just sprung up, or is something they had discussed before time? Somebody violated it, or this person knew but thought it wouldn't get to this point?
Which is a very interesting question, because it leads us to a conversation that we should have sometime after now.
Yeah.
Which is courtship.
Exactly.
Courtship is a whole conversation by itself.
Yeah.
So a lot of marriages have issues because of very poor courtship season. People don't know what to do while in courtship. Don't know
People
how
have
to
the wrong
right.
conversations.
Yes.
People are stuck up on the wrong things.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking out for the wrong things.
Very few people talk about money.
And then they arrive marriage and are shocked.
Because they don't think the money
it's
conversation
important.
in courtship is important.
I think the things people, I think is what is.
It's just what you are used to, so to speak. What you see, what you expect, what you've seen people, and So there's no original thought put into that particular process. So what I think, once you are engaged, you think of how to do the wedding introduction, the processes towards the wedding. That's what's happening. Parents and all those kind of so to say, minors, things like kids, money, finances, career, sex. There's a lot of this conversation that must be had and resolved.
Dreams.
Things like this that we are talking about now, exactly, gender roles.
Yeah,
And-
it should be a major conversation in
Yes.
courtship.
Yeah.
Because the person you're getting married to, you need to understand what the person's perspective of. For example, if you're a woman, you want to know what his perspective of who a woman is. Do you get? He's not going to treat you any different. For example, if a man believes that a woman is below him, he's not going to treat you any different. He will treat you the same. He might not show it because at the time every man puts forth his best wine. Do you get?
So I was even going to talk about that because you're saying
that's the truth.
we need
like
to talk about
pretense.
gender roles. So this guy really likes this girl, he wants to marry her, and then she brings up the topic of gender roles.
You might very likely say the things you like to hear.
Yeah, like
But then there's another side to that. There's another side to that. There's another side to that. You see, it is not what he says he is or what he says he's doing, it's who you see him to be. So the mistake a lot of ladies make now, this conversation is not about courtship, which we're about to make is about yeah, this conversation is about gender roles. We'll get back there. But to answer that question, so in courtship you ask questions and he's telling you what you'd like to hear. But the thing now is this: a man treats you right but treats every other lady wrong, then he's not
a problem.
There's a problem to that.
yeah.
So that's what a lot of ladies don't know what to look out for. If he treats his sister less, treats his mother less, treats the waiter less, treats the lady in the shop he's trying to buy something from, you are there and you can see, you are watching, you are seeing it. He treats her less, but he treats you more. No, that's not the real him. The real him is how he's treating every other person around you.
So eventually you'll be a
People are
victim.
very good actors.
Yeah,
And
acting.
no matter how much a person acts, if you know what to look out for, you'd find it.